Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How is everybody? Hello. Good morning. Yeah, so great. So great. Thank you, Grace and Daisy. Thank you for your response and let me know. Yeah, I can be heard. Thank you. So let's go ahead with our lecture on Samadhi. First of all, let's do the prayer. Let's sit upright, place our palms together, and concentrate on the prayer below. We take refuge with our Master. We take refuge with Shakyamuni Buddha. We take refuge with all the triple jewel of the 10 directions and the 3 periods of time. Verse for open your future. Their surpassed, profound, and wonderful Dharma in hundreds of millions of years is difficult to encounter. We now see and hear it, receive and uphold it, and we vow to fathom the Tathagata's true meaning, and we vow to practice the Tathagata's true way, and we vow to attain the Tathagata's true state. We vow that we can spontaneously express the Buddha's understanding, Buddha's view, Buddha's wisdom, Buddha's merit and virtue, Buddha's capability and Buddha's state through our action, speech, and thoughts. We also vow that all the living beings can enter into the Buddha's understanding, Buddha's view, Buddha's wisdom, Buddha's merit and virtue, Buddha's capability, and Buddha's state all into us. So that's the prayer for today's lecture. Yeah, so last week we do a review on the whole paragraph of the third one. Yeah. So let's go ahead, okay, directly with today's lesson, cause the there are so many words and expressions. I hope we can have a good command of them, okay? So let's go ahead with the video.
In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct. Which means they are just part of the ego, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct.
Wow. And there is, which means, okay, let's double check. Yeah, this sentence is a bit long. Yeah, which means, well, yes, here it is. I think there is a comment and then go ahead. Yeah, which means, wow, too long, right? Conditioned, which means, just part of the ego construct. Ego construct. 好像我们前面都学过。Yes, we've learned before. Okay, so that's it. Let's listen to it for several more times.
Chanting, or any kind of ritual who are engaged in religious or spiritual. In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct. In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct. In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct.
Okay, let's go ahead with it. So in today's lecture, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct. Ego construct 好像 yeah, we learned yes, and we've learned it before. We learned previously. Okay, let's go ahead with the new words and expressions in blue. Okay, in navy. There are so many words and expressions. So firstly, vast, and we should pay attention to. We should pay attention to the to this phenomenon. Phonetic syllable v. It's quite different from our pronunciation in China. So we need to pay attention to it. Vast, not vast. Okay, vast. And the letter A pronounced like yeah. So we need to, and in American English is fast, vast. Okay. So what does it mean? It means extremely large in area, size, amount, etc. This is the vast. And majority and the stress is placed on the second one, and on the second syllable. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 syllables together, and stress is on the second syllable. Is placed on the second syllable is jaw, majority, jaw, majority. So what does it mean? A large part of a group of people or things. So do you remember in the Constitution we learned a lot about majority? Yeah, it needs a large part of the group. That means over 50%. Over 50%, it means majority. Okay. And then engaged, what does it mean? Engaged. And it means be busy doing something. And there is a phrase here, be engaged in doing something. It also means be busy with something. Be engaged in something. Be busy with something. Here, engaged is a adjective. So this is the engaged. And then let's go ahead to religion. Religious. Connected with religion or with a particular religion. It means, is something connected with religion, and something is relative have relevant with the religion. Okay, spiritual. What does it mean, spiritual? Spiritual is connected with religion here. So spiritual is not the spirit. It means a religious issue. Yeah, connected with religion. Yeah, some kind of religious. Yeah, the similar words. Spiritual and the stress is on the first syllable. On the first syllable, spiritual. And then practices. Yeah, practices. Okay, practices. Yeah, here it is. I just write like this. Yeah, practices. Practices, what does it mean? Doing any activity or training regularly so that you can improve your skill, the time you spend doing something. The time you spend doing this. So practice. Sometimes there is idiom named practice makes perfect, right? So here it is, the practice. So have you seen the vast majority engaged in religions, spiritual practices, and yoga, prayer, meditation we learned last week. Yeah, last week we do the prayer preview about the phrase and expressions. So here we have learned. So we need to read them, okay? The yoga is a kind of activity and from a Hindu philosophy. But currently the yoga means an activity to calm down yourself and to calm down yourself, to make you concentrate on something. And then prayer, what does it mean? It means the act or habit of praying. Yeah, there is a religion. I'm not sure it's about a religion about Middle East, and they will pray every Saturday, every Friday afternoon. Get together and pray. So that's the prayer. And meditation, what does it mean? Is a kind of practice deeply in silence, especially for religious reason, and in order to make your mind calm. And from meditation, we will get samadhi. Yeah, meditation is the process, and samadhi, I think, is the result. You know, result. So samadhi is a kind of upright meditation. And then chanting, ritual, and technique. So you can have the paraphrases downloads. Below. And then condition. What does it mean? I think condition is very interesting, and we need to have a good command of it. We need to master it. What does condition mean? Usually passive. Do you know passive? Add ed means passive. Have you seen ed? And it works as an adj or sometimes works as past participle word, and also used be conditioned. So usually passive, to have an important effect on something or somebody, to influence the way that something happens. So this is to influence the way that something happens. So conditioned, and we need to we always like to describe cause and effect, and during cause and effect there is a condition. The condition functions powerful. If you have a good command of the condition, and everything will go well. So condition here, I just introduced the condition, the noun of condition, but here the condition is a verb, verb, but at ed, it means the past participle word, past participle verb. So it means, it has the verb issue. So have an important effect on somebody or something to influence the way that something happens. Conditions works powerful. Condition work powerful. So here it is the condition. All right, let's go to the grammar issue. Okay, let's listen to the video again. And the grammar I think is a bit complicated. So many which. So many which. So let's go for it firstly.
In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct. In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct. In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct.
Okay, for the grammar issue, let's go ahead. And what's the main clause? The main clause. Main clauses means the main dishes. I'm sorry, I made a oral mistake. Main clause. What's the main clause? What is the subject, and then the verb, action, and then the object? So in this sentence, the vast majority of people works as the subject, right? And then I guess practicing techniques. And practicing techniques that that predict and that predict connected with objects. This is the predict. Do you know predict? Predict. Predict. Predict is a verb issue and works as the main action. Predict. Practicing is the predict, and the techniques is the objects. Is the objects of this sentence. Yes, thank you, Daisy. I really agree with it. So this the main clause. This the who, which, and not which is not the main clause, is the subordinate clause. And also for this detailed one, it is the particular clause named relative clause led by who, led by which, and then there is another which. We need to mention it. So two relative clauses led by which. But they have different meanings. We need to highlight it. So here, first of all, there is a relative clause led by who. Have you seen it? Who? The vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices. Who? What does who point to? He point to the people, okay? Vast majority of people, yeah, I think the whole phrases, yeah. Who are engaged, the vast majority of people means who. Who are engaged in this relative clause, who works as the subject. Be engaged in as the, is a phrasal verb. Do you know phrasal verb? It means a verb phrase. Be engaged in is the predict. Yeah, predict works as a predict together. And then religions and all, yeah, blah blah. Or spiritual practices. Here, spiritual means religious practices. Have you found the paraphrasing? It's paraphrasing, and here spiritual has its own meaning. It means religions. So it's a spiritual practice, religious practices such as blah blah blah. Yeah. So who? This is the relative clause led by who, and then two relative clauses led by which, and what? The first which, here it is, which are conditions. Practicing techniques which are conditioned. There is no comma. Have you seen it? The mark of comma. There is no comma, so which points to techniques. Points to is closed. Is closed noun technique. Yeah, I feel not so comfortable. Yeah, okay. Okay, here, which points to techniques, and yeah, there is no comma, so it equals to techniques. And how about this which? Do you know? Who knows? This which points to what? Which means they are just part of the ego construct. So what does this which point to? Who knows? Yeah, they just said for the first, yeah, point to the first whole sentence. Yes, the whole sentence. Because it means it's infinitive, yes. You know infinitive? It means it points not to exact which noun, but the whole sentence, the whole issue. It means the whole matters. The whole matter means which. Infinitive, yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. I think so. Yes, infinitive. And the means the whole sentence, the issue. The issue means that just part of the issue means that just part of the ego construct. The whole things are the ego construct. Yeah, that's so busy with some spiritual activities, spiritual practices, but they are all of that doing are just the ego construct, ego construct. So the which the second word has different meaning and points to different part, not, yeah, it means the whole issue, okay? And then there are two phrases, and the first one is, the first one is the be engaged in, and here it means be busy with. So have you seen it be engaged in? Yeah, who are engaged in? Who are be busy with religious spiritual practices. So here, engaged in. And then such as. So we always say such as. Here, such as, blah, blah, blah. It means a kind of like, and means the writer would like to list samples for us. List some samples for us. Okay, for example, list examples for us. Okay, so that's the grammar issue. Are you clear now? All of them, all of them, 4 points together. Yeah, thank you, Daisy. So let's go ahead with the shadowing. Okay. So how about the meaning? I think we know the meaning. We are clear the meaning if we have analyzed the grammar. Okay, let's go it. Let's go for it. In today's world, it means in the current society. In today's world, we are living. We are living in today's world. We are living in nowadays. We are living in current society, right? In today's world, the vast majority of people and most of us, it means most of us, the vast majority of people, most of us who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, they are so busy with the religious or spiritual practices. What kind of practices? It means such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of a ritual. And ritual, it means, yeah, what does ritual mean? Let's go ahead with ritual. A series of actions that they are always performed in the same way, especially as part of religious ceremony. I think, yeah, Grace is here. I think, hello, Grace. I think the ritual, you are very familiar with the ritual, right? Because I think in the Vietnam and in the East and southern East countries, Southeast countries, yeah, there are many ritual, yeah, especially in Vietnam, in Thailand, and yeah, such kind of getting together and do the religious ceremony, and yeah, by chanting or by reciting or by bowing, something like that. So the ritual, I think you can go to the meaning. It is an activity related to religion. All right, all of them, the vast majority doing that are practicing techniques, just doing the practicing techniques. That practicing skills and not the such kind of skills techniques are not relatives are not relative to the true self, have no relation to samadhi. It is not important to samadhi, yeah, which means that just part of the ego construct. Yeah, they are doing this just doing the ego contract, just build the ego contract, just construct the ego, okay? Construct the ego. Okay, so that's the meaning. So there's so many activities that are just outside, not inside issue. Have even no matter with seeking the with discovering the true self, with the discovering of samadhi. Okay, so let's go to the shadowing.
In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct.
Okay, let's focus on the video and the audio, okay, and find out which words are the stressed ones.
In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct.
Okay, in today's world, I heard that in today's world, yeah, the vast, in today's world, right? Yeah, not the real. Okay, in today's world, the vast majority of people, the vast majority should be emphasized. People who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as these words are very weak: yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any means any kind of ritual or practicing is not need to be emphasis, need to be stressed. Okay, is not practicing techniques which are conditioned here, which means that just means very part of the ego construct. So this was I need to be stressed. Let's double check. Okay, listen to the video again.
In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct.
Yes, that's it. Okay, so who would like to follow it a bit longer? Okay, Daisy, thank you so much. I'd like to play it for you first, okay?
In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct.
Yes, Daisy, your time, please.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but a bit low.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, works now.
Okay.
Louder now.
Okay, thank you. In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they were just part of the ego construct.
Wow, yes, perfect. Thank you so much.
How
And
to-
would you like to try?
How to
Yeah.
pronounce techniques? Techniques.
Techniques. Yes, let's double check.
Techniques. Okay.
Yeah, technique.
Oh,
Yeah, have you found it?
Yes,
Technique.
yes.
Techniques.
Techniques.
Yeah, would you like to try again and pay attention to here? I think the yeah, sorry. Here, it should be weakened.
Okay.
Should be weakened. Okay. Let's listen to it and then follow it again.
In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Please
Okay.
try again.
In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are
Yes.
conditioned, which means they're just part of the ego construct.
Wow, yeah,
Okay.
fantastic. Thank you so much, Daisy. Yeah, try your best to recite it, okay, at your end. Okay, and then Alice, good morning. Hi, Alice. I'd like to play it for you first, okay?
Okay, thank you.
In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct.
You please, Alice.
Okay. In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they're just part of the ego construct.
Yes. Construct. Okay, ego construct. Ego. Let's look.
Ego construct.
Construct. Yes, ego construct. Construction, you know. Construct, ego construct. And then we need to pay attention to the tone, intonation. Here different. Cause the not use no use go up, the use go down one. Okay, let's go ahead with them. Okay, just double check and then repeat it. Okay, Alice.
Okay.
Listen to the video, again, and then check out these ones.
In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct.
Yes, you try again, please.
Okay, I think the speed is so fast. Okay. Yeah, okay. I try.
The speed is fast, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they're just part of the ego construct.
Yeah, ego construct. Yeah, I think you did it so well now. Thank you so much. Thank you, Alice. Yes, a bit faster. Okay, I will lower it down. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Okay, next one. Whose turn? Okay, Virtue. Good morning, Virtue.
Good morning, teacher.
Yeah, let's go for it. Okay.
Okay.
Shadow it.
In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct.
Yes, you please. Virtue, you please.
Okay. In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct.
Wow,
Thank
you are
you.
amazing. Your intonation is perfect. And please pay attention to this word. So have you realized it? This word.
Majority.
Yeah, that's correct now. Majority. Just now you read it in the sentence, majority. Actually, it's majority. Okay, once again, let's do it once again, please.
In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah, please
you.
keep in mind. Please keep them in mind, and then I will ask you to recite it, okay? Thank you. And then Grace. Hello, Grace.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, speak louder, okay?
Yeah, all right.
Okay, so great. I will play it for you.
In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct.
Yes.
Yes.
Grace, you please.
Yeah. In today's world, In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct.
Yeah, your tone, your intonation is quite different. It's beautiful. Okay, once again, listen to it.
Yeah.
In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct.
Yeah, once again, please.
Yes. In today's world, in today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just parts of the ego construct.
I think this one, this time is perfect.
Yes.
Especially any kind of ritual, you did it so well. And we should pay attention to the 4 words together. And you did it so well. Yeah, good jobs.
Yes.
Such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting. Chanting is a bit higher. Chanting, or any kind of ritual, or practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means not in a high pitch, not in a high pitch, but use a long and a low pitch, which means I'm not sure how to, which means not which means, but it's very, which means, yes. Let's double check, okay? Double check with the video.
Yeah.
In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct.
Have you found it?
Yes.
Which means, and also, yeah, would you like try it? Which means, yeah, please start here.
Yes, which means, yeah, right?
Yeah. Much better. Thank you. So who would like to recite them? A bit longer. Yeah, three subordinate clauses and some phrases. Yes. Wow, Daisy, you're ready. You're amazing. Yes, please, Daisy. Hello, Daisy.
Hello. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me recite it.
Okay.
In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they're just part of the ego construct.
Wow, genius.
Thank you.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you. And then who will be next one? Oh, Alice is also ready. Alice, you please.
In today's world, vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they're just a part of the ego construct.
Yes, perfect. The content is perfect. Yeah, thank you so much, Alice. Anybody else? Alice, are you ready now? Yeah, Alice, you please. Hello, Alice.
Yeah, in it, I just recited it.
Oh, I didn't distinguish Alice with Grace, I made a mistake
Okay.
again. Okay. Grace, you please. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, all right. I tried it.
Yeah, you are. I mean, you. Please.
In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious um, engages engages 从头来啊，忘了。
Yeah. Restart, please.
People who are engaged in religious or, or spiritual practices, such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing technique which are conditioned which mean they're just part of the ego construct. Yes.
Wow. You achieve it. Yeah, you got it.
Thank you so much.
Good jobs. Grace, you did it so well. Thank you. All right. And then next one is virtue, you please.
Okay, thank you. In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual, are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they are just part of the ego construct.
Yeah, that's great. Amazing. I really love your intonation, your pronunciation, you hear. Your yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, yeah, a bit higher, chanting, or any kind of ritual. Yeah, you are genius. Yeah, your pronunciation is so great. Okay, I like to follow all of you. Try my best. Okay, again. In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious or spiritual practices such as yoga, prayer, meditation, chanting, or any kind of ritual are practicing techniques which are conditioned, which means they're just part of the ego construct. Yeah, that's it. I try my best. Thank you, Daisy, for your listening, for your encouragement. And here, yeah, I found, yeah, let's focus on these phrases, okay, which are conditioned. What does it mean? Yeah, we need to highlight it. Which are conditioned. It means all of them are not perpetual. You know, perpetual? They're here now and gone tomorrow. They're not independent. They're dependent on others, such as on your mood, on the guide, on something else, on the environment. Depends on the environment. So it means they are conditioned. They're not independent. They're dependent. So it condition means here. So I hope you can comprehend it. In today's world, the vast majority of people who are engaged in religious spirituals, yeah, although really religious or spiritual practices are just conditioned and They just practice the practice techniques, and techniques sometimes, yeah, you need it, but sometimes you didn't need it. So this is the conditions issue, not perpetual. Yeah, depends on, it depends on. So yeah, it is interesting, and I think condition, we can look at it in the dictionary about the condition, and especially its verb condition. What does it mean? The verb one, condition. Not this meaning, and I think this meaning. Have you seen condition something something? It means, yeah, to have an important effect on something, to influence the way that something happens, and also in our context, in our in our taste of samadhi. It means, yeah, the techniques is depends on somebody. Yeah, something will have an influence on the techniques, such as if you practice in the techniques, if you learn the techniques, and sometimes the government needs such kind of techniques and sometimes not. So it has been influenced by others. So this is the techniques issue, and this is the conditioned issue. Are conditioned, it means be influenced by others. Yeah, other things or other something or somebody has an impact on on this issue. So that's it. So all the activities, all the practices are conditioned and are practicing techniques which are not perpetual, cannot last forever. Yeah, it is not independent. They are dependent, such as your child. Your children are dependent on you, okay? Are dependent of you. So that's it. Very interesting topic, and I hope you can understand me. That's all for today's lecture, and